So that brings me to the vision of the podcast. The podcast vision, my vision for the podcast is to help business owners navigate what is really quite difficult, owning a business. You know, you can open a business in seconds. To actually make it grow consistently and become a business you love. I'm Gordon De Silva, a business owner just like you, who has been in the trenches and come out the other side to own a business that delivers an incredible life and an incredible opportunity to help others. I've gone from working too hard, being stressed and unprepared for business life and the challenges it brings, to owning businesses that help me change clients' lives and gives me more freedom than I ever thought possible, and that never even existed as a daydream. I created the Talking Business with Gordon podcast to offer you simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. If you are an ambitious business owner or just starting out on the journey, looking to create a business that creates an impact, but also a business that delivers the life you love, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. In today's podcast, hello, and welcome. This is Gordon De Silva, and today I want to announce this is the introduction to my podcast. It's the first episode I'm recording right now, Series 1, Episode 1. Without further ado, let's get started. Hi and welcome. My name's Gordon De Silva, and I'd like to offer you a very warm welcome to my podcast. To get the podcast going, I thought I would give you 2 or 3 episodes with me introducing what we're going to be discussing, who my guests are, invite you to be a guest if you think you've got something of value, which almost all of you have because you are business owners. So that's the first thing. My podcast is for business owners. 90% of the stuff we're going to be covering in the podcast is going to be for all business owners. The remaining 10% will be for service business owners primarily, okay? But 90%, all business owners will be able to benefit. So that's the first promise to you. I thought I'd better just let you know where I live in terms of business advice. I live in the intersection of profitability, productivity, and passion. What that means in a nutshell is that I want to help businesses become more profitable consistently. I want to help them become more productive so they spend less time doing it and more time enjoying it. And I want them to have the passion of owning the business so that they love the business and they also love the life outside the business because they've got plenty of money because of the profitability, they've got plenty of time because of the productivity, and they're doing things they love in the business and out, which means that it's not a drain on their energy. It in fact feeds their soul. And that is what I've built for myself over the years. It took me about 7 years when I started doing this 35 years ago. And, I blessed the day I discovered the methodology that I've now updated over the years, because things change. And if we don't change with it, we end up like the dinosaurs, right? So by being on the podcast, you're demonstrating you're embracing change. You want to hear new ideas, keep yourself up to date with what's going on in the business world, how you can make your business more efficient, how you can do more of what you love, how you can be more productive, how you can be more profitable and create a consistently growing business that you love to own. And when you create a business that you can sell, by the way, that's part of the business that you would love to own. You don't need to sell it because you choose to own it because you love everything about it. The money, the time, the freedom, it's all there for you. So that's the first piece. A little bit about me, just very quickly. I'm a business owner just like you. I have had my struggles and I still have the occasional struggle. We wouldn't be human if we never did, right? So I think what somebody you said, it's not how many times you fall down as long as you get up one more time than you fall down. So you're always getting up from a fall down. And I've had some challenges in my life. I've had some challenges in business, and I pursued my business dream and came out the other side and have lived a wonderful life. since I did that because I really enjoy my business. I didn't like it at one point, right? At one point, the business was like a ball and chain around my neck. I didn't enjoy it, and it wasn't fun to own. But now I can't imagine being without it. I can't imagine retiring because I enjoy it. To me, every day's a holiday. And in fact, I am going on holiday. And on holiday, it feels like the same as every other day because I do what I want, when I want, how I want, with whom I want, and it's the freedom that business can give you. So that brings me to the vision of the podcast. The podcast vision, my vision for the podcast, is to help business owners navigate what is really quite difficult, owning a business. You can open a business in seconds. To actually make it grow consistently and become a business you love is rather more tricky. And what I want to do is take what is typically difficult and make it wonderful, make it easy, make it a step-by-step process. That's what I do in my program, the Profit Propeller program. But on this podcast, I'm going to be giving you all the goodness that you can, but spread over weeks and years. Hopefully you'll enjoy every episode of that journey with me. I also want, one of my missions is to help business owners. Had it not been for my coaches and consultants who helped me all those 35 years ago, I wouldn't be in the position I am now. I'm confident of that. Having said that, I was open to the message. I took the chance of buying their services, and I never looked back. Now, I have bought products and services that I didn't enjoy owning and didn't enjoy paying for, but that is just part of life. And now that's why I give my clients a money-back guarantee on my coaching and consulting and mentoring program, because I know I can help them if I take them on, and I know that I can deliver the profitability in the time that they want. So I'm happy to guarantee that. And if I don't deliver it, it's fine. I'm happy to give them the money back. So I want to help business owners like I was helped all those years ago. I paid for it handsomely, and here you have it in the podcast, and it's going to be a fraction of that. In fact, it's going to be a 0% fraction of it because, of course, the podcast is free. The next thing I want to reiterate is that we're looking to build a business, not where you're working harder for more money. That is possible. It's not desirable in my book, right? So there will be lots and lots on how to earn more money, but for me, it's going to be how do we tinge that with making it more easy to do so that you don't spend more time doing it, you spend less time doing it so that you earn more money in less time and then enjoy what you're doing. And so we're back to that intersection of profitability, productivity, and passion. The intersection where those three join is where I live in my willingness to help business owners achieve that sweet spot. The next thing I think would be useful to discuss is my beliefs around business, I think, and maybe even about life a little bit. So in my world, there is no better way to create the life of your dreams than through an owner-managed business. There is no way of doing better than an owner-managed business to create the life you want, because you've got the opportunity, you've got no restrictions. No one can tell you how hard to work or how cleverly to work or how smart to work, or how much to charge or how much to make, how much profit you can make. There is no limit. And while there is a limit to how many hours there are in the day, there is a limit to how hard you can work. There is a limit to the number of customers you can serve. Maybe there is no limit to the amount of profit you can make. The sky is the limit. And if we take somebody like Richard Branson and you look at the man running 300-400 companies, clearly it's possible. So we've just got to learn the beliefs that he operates under, the methodology he operates under, the business models he operates under, and scale them down to owner-managed businesses. That's really been my life's work, is how do we take the world's best methodologies and bring them into the small business arena? Does that sound exciting? Of course it does. So the other beliefs I have is that every business owner that offers a quality service can consistently grow their business and consistently earn more and build a business they enjoy. That is my strong belief, and that is why I guarantee how I help businesses, because first of all, they just got to answer the question, do you offer a quality service that you are proud of and that gets good response? So for example, in my business, clients love what we do. They stay with us for 7, 10, 20, 35 years, is the longest client I've had. And they just retired last year. So, I look for businesses who want to live the sort of benefits I've gained from offering amazing service, great value, and really top notch advice, service, services, products in the way of a service and so on. So I believe every business can be helped. So if you're here and you are proud of the service that you offer and your clients are happy with your service, then you're in the right place. If you're not, then this podcast is probably not for you, because I don't want you using all the good stuff we give to abuse the relationship you have with trusting clients who may not be able to see through it. The interaction that we're going to have together is I'm going to be on podcast platforms, but I'm also going to be on Facebook, and I'm also going to be on YouTube and Instagram. I would love to interact with you. Tell me what you'd like to know more of. I will go and find the guests to talk about it. I will give you my little 2 cents worth, and together you will get your questions answered, because I believe if you've got a question, then probably another 1,000 people in the world at least have the same question. And so we would be doing a service together by you asking the question, me going and finding the answers and delivering it on the podcast. So if you've got a business question, please, and we may have some time for life questions and stuff. And if you know my story, I've had some real challenges in my personal life with my family, as I lost my wife so many years ago now. But it was a painful time. But had I not done the things I did, which I help business owners do now, I wouldn't have had the peace of mind of knowing that we had some real quality time with her and the family over the years. She was desperately ill, and we lost her too early. So that is really what we want to have, just a bit of interaction. And the next belief I have is that business is a process of iteration. What that means to you and me is that it's a consistent process of doing stuff, right? And if we ever stop doing stuff, I was listening to a podcast recently, and the guy was saying, if you don't update your business plan every sometimes 2, 3, 4 weeks, right, then you're probably missing some tricks. And if you think you're finished with your business plan, then you're probably finished with your business, is the way he put it. And I thought that is so true, and I quite like that thinking, and I agree with it completely. Is that I've always iterated, no matter how successful I've got, no matter how much I've learned, I've always implemented new things. I've always gone out and searched the best in the world. I've paid them handsomely, and I've learned stuff which I've not only helped my own business, but I've also then taken that information to help my clients' businesses. And of course, now I'm doing it on a podcast to a much wider audience. So the idea we're going to be looking at is we're going to simplify things, but not oversimplify it, right? I think it was it Einstein or something said, you make things simple, but not too simple, right? So in other words, we want to make things so it's easy to understand and implement, but we don't want to make them so simple that they don't work or they don't make sense. So, there are challenges, and everything I'm going to be talking about that I've done, that I'm talking to my guests about, are things that either I've done and demonstrated works, or I know other people who've done it and demonstrated works in their business, and they're invited as guests, or I've learned from them, because I believe we have the opportunity to learn from other people who've done something. Now, if somebody else can do it, it is my strong belief that we can do it as well. And so that's another one of my beliefs. If somebody has done it, then it means you and I can do it as well. So that's really, we just need the resources, the thinking, the methodology, the mindset, the testing, the processes, the learning, the checklists. If you buy it, you can get your checklists and stuff. So, I believe we can do it. The last belief I want to talk about, and others will come out during the course of the podcast, I'm sure you'll hear, is we are creatures of habit. And while these things may sound really good, you've got one major battle, and that is the battle of being a human being. And being a human being, we have habits, right? We brush our teeth the same way, at the same time typically. We put on our shirts or trousers the same way. We put on our shoes, we tie our shoelaces the same way. Every time we do that, because it's become a habit. And that's really, really useful. Can you imagine having to work out how to drive a car every time you got in it? Or how to tie your shoelaces every time you did it? Or put a tie on I haven't worn a tie for years now. But hope you don't mind. But, tie a tie or whatever it is, right? We do things by habit, and that's a really good thing. Where it sometimes hinders us is when we want to do something new. We want to break out of something we've got used to doing, and we want to do something differently. Now, sometimes when you hear a podcast, you can hear the enthusiasm, and you can think, oh, that's a really good idea, and you can get into it, and you go, oh, I'm going to try that, right? And the problem is, without support and like accountability and a push, someone to hold you to this new habit, what tends to happen, the daily routines get in the way. You've probably come across this before. I know I have umpteen times, even recently. It's quite difficult. And if I didn't have my accountability partners and my mentors and my coaches, chances are these new initiatives would go by the wayside quite quickly. So I want you to think about who can hold you accountable. Could it be your spouse? Probably not the best idea, because you want to be able to be held accountable and not have a row about it. Maybe it's someone in your business. Maybe it's one of your colleagues or your business partner or one of your team. Not always the best, but you know what I'm talking about. Have someone, tell them this is what I'm planning on doing, hold you to account, to keep doing it, to get it to work, to get it to settle down into a new routine. And then, the habit will then work in your favor, because you will start doing it as a matter of routine. For example, a little while ago, I started meditating, and there was lots of opportunity for me to stop meditating, but the people I was being coached by kept on saying, right, what time are you meditating today? Did you do your meditation? And now I settle in for an early morning meditation. Meditate, is that a right word? Anyway, I meditate in the mornings for at least 30 minutes. And, that really, I found, really supercharges my thinking in my mind. It brings a lot of peace and tranquility into my mind and helps me focus for the day. So, but that habit took a while to build. And, if I didn't carry it on for sort of 2, 3, 4 months, then it was easy to see how it could fall by the wayside. You see that? I hope you can see that. And you probably have examples in your life, in your business, where you've tried to do something and you go, oh, the old way, I knew the old way, and it just felt natural, and you went back to the old way. You didn't give the new way enough time to become a habit, to save you time, to make you more money, to do more of what you love and less of what you don't enjoy in your business. So those are my beliefs. You have been listening to the Talking Business with Gordon podcast with Gordon De Silva. Next week. Hey, thank you for listening to the first in the podcast. The next podcast is going to be quite short, because it's going to be talking about the subject matter we're going to be covering on these podcasts. So you know what to expect, and you'll know that it's for you, so you can attend and look out for it every week. All right, this is Gordon. Take care. Bye-bye.